live in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, day 81. 4 trading months plus 1 day. 81 days. 2020. Anywho, oh, my hair looks raggedy. Anyway, what level, man? Let's see what no major news today. Yellow, we have some orange folders at 7 a.m. but tomorrow we do have NFP. So today the market price action might be somehow, especially in the afternoon. So we'll be careful today, but if I see a setup I will take it. But price action today usually after maybe 9 a.m. my time, we might get in a consolidation, but who knows. But it's likely as they hold it in a range for tomorrow. But you still see price sometimes, still behave normally. NFP tomorrow in the morning. Okay, let's see what we have missed. What has happened while we were, look at this, went down, up. Previous day low. What's this? Group 3. Just curious, am I missing anything? 1 minute. Yeah, I'll have to see a closure just before I talk too much. Is there anything confirmed? I'll have to see a closure below, a 50-minute closure below that zone before I take a trade. Wow, we're dropping. Do we have a breaker here? I will be comfortable taking longs above this zone here. Okay, we might be having a trade right now, and I'm gonna take it depending on how this 15-minute candle closes. Oh no, we still don't have a trade. Okay, no trade just yet. I strictly need to see a body close below whatever I think is a breaker. Wait a minute, what am I doing? If I'm going short, that cannot be the breaker, y'all. This will be a breaker for long if we close above. If we close above here, so shorts will be the last down candle before we short up. And that will be this candle here. The thing is though, I did come with a conclusion that if it's embedded in another down candle, then the other down candle should have the priority. And so let me just stick to those rules, and I think that will be confirmation enough that we want to keep going lower. Or this might be a sweep. If it is, then I'll switch to this up series of up candles here and use that. So this will be just clear. 730, buys above here and sells below here. In between that range, I am doing nothing. Okay, So 13 minutes at least. I want to check out what happened yesterday. Let me pull up yesterday's drawings. Let's just look at it on the 1 minute. Wow. So this was yesterday's setup. Worked well. When I saw this last drop, man, I came back here because I'd stepped away a little bit from my desk. So the whole argument was I need a little bit more to make $500. And at the moment, I was kind of seeing 460, 450. So then I decided just $50. I'm in drawdown. I've seen all that money. Let me just get out. So I decided to get out of this trade. And I did mention that, with this retracement, it can go back all the way. Or, the cost of holding a little bit more will be retracement. But this was quite unfortunate, man. I didn't expect it to retrace this much. Maybe get to this zone here and then come and finish business. But, price has to be manipulated. Or, I don't know if this is manipulation or whatever. But anybody who got in a short here, which I know is a lot of people, and they're still holding, they might have been squeezed out. So price retraces back from 942 all the way to 10. We're talking what? 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 hours. Is that right? Close to 4 hours. 940 to 12. Is that 4 hours? 9, 10, 11. 3 hours. 3 hours. Just where I had my stop loss. Gets taken out and then we see a sharp drop. Well, with FundedNext, yeah, I did close around here 110, but the rest of the day we see it drop, and it does get to kind of where I thought the terminus would be. It's all good anyway. It's all good. So overnight we still saw some more drops. We're likely to see today. Okay, clean up. All right, let's see what ES looks like. Ooh, they are not looking the same, y'all. Okay, let's go do what's daily, the top down kind of. Wow, how we switched, but yeah, this can be fooling that maybe we have dropped, but same thing happened here with all these gaps. But this could be it anyway. Who knows? That could be the final run right there. All-time high. Now we have a huge imbalance here. Volume imbalance on the daily, on the daily. We do have the previous day low right here, previous day low, previous day low. Then I do have the old daily low right there. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we might be a couple of them. I'll just mark all of them, which is redundant. Why is it redundant? It's different. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There is a daily imbalance here, so that's where we're heading to. Volume imbalance on the daily. DOG, whatever you want to call it. What else would I be looking for here? Previous day high, all daily high, blah blah blah. So normally when going short, we take out at least 3 lows, 1, 2, 3. So we, you and who? Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour imbalance here. 4 hour BC gap. Buy side inefficiency, sell side. Hey. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I believe that's what it's called. Weak, body weak. Even though the body is not really touching, but retest, father. Weak, body weak, retest. And I could argue too, this is a breaker on the 4 hour. I'm not gonna mark it, but body confirmation, retest, leaving. That might be sell side right here. We're likely to get there today. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It's inside. All right, let's go to the 1 hour. See, it makes sense out of. So, hey, Poloko in the building. It's never too late as long as you show up. I also just started maybe 10 minutes ago. So 1 hour fair value gap here already. I think I'm having too many drawings. Trying to see if I can. Previous day low. Volume imbalance. Can I get rid of the volume imbalance? This is what I'm going to do to make the markings easy for me. I'll get rid of that. And then just put a box there. Just to see there's something. Do you think the bias has changed? Paul Loco is still there. Just one person in it. Wait. Man, I think there's a setup, but I'm not in a hurry to take it. I need to see what I need to see. A closure below here, so I'm gonna wait. But this right here is looking good. But I just don't have a breaker yet. So I will not fall for that. 1 hour. So this area has a daily What do you mean daily? What was it you're seeing here? Was it in the 4 hour? What? All right. Okay. Whatever, man, doesn't really matter anyway. What is this? 30-minute fair value gap. Should I refine it to that? I will not, because I'm kind of saying this is the last point we touch, so I'm gonna just leave it alone. No, I will. So this is what I'm gonna do. Refine that to that 30-minute. And this is not that important anyway, it's just for fun. That 15-minute fair value gap right there, kind of seeing where we did come from. Okay. I did have some markings before. Okay. This is a little bit too late. We do have one here, so we'll wait. For some cleanliness, I think I'll do, that was the plan, buys there, sells down here. Okay, we are Gucci. Pull this to 730 for now, or 8. Okay, I think I'm done with analysis. Pretty much all these other lines, I really don't need them. The only thing I need is just whatever I think is gonna be the breaker. The last up candle before we shut down took out this low. So in terms of market structure, we should now be forming highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. That's how you say it. High, low, higher low, low, higher low, low. But if we come and create a higher high, then just like, to me, an immediate break of structure. And this right here, if we do break that low, that would be, you know, we now, it's like a continuation. So I'd like to hop into that trend. But just looking at this, we could argue this was the last up candle before we shut down, right? So this right here could be a confirm, this could be a breaker too, and this is a retest. But it's kind of being it's kind of being disrespected, or rather disregarded. Any attempt to go up was thwarted. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, I think it'll be safe to just wait for a closure below here. There is a volume imbalance right there. Daily place we can get to 50 points. Okay, I'm done. We do have NFP news tomorrow, as I said, so today we might see some funny price action. This right here is an entry on the 1 minute, but I need to anchor my trade on a high time frame, something. and I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I can force and say, you know what, there's a weak body weak here, and I can use that, but that has cost me. So I'm just gonna keep it. Just wait for the 15-minute breakers. ES is kind of doing. These two are impaired. Usually they're doing the same thing, but ES, the whole of Asia and London was kind of consolidation, but Nasdaq did consolidate, but from 12:30 a.m. my time at this nice drop. Well, ES had a good drop too anyway. 12 minutes before I can confirm anything yet, so that might be a good setup, and if it works without me, that's okay. I'll just consider those drops kind of pulling me away from what I'm really supposed to wait for. But it looks good. That'll be the entry candle, stop loss above the EMA. High time frame level right there, which is that which is just an old daily low. But looking at this, wow, look at that. If this works and you're not careful, you'll start taking those trades, and I don't want to do that. I did this. Some of them were good, some of them were costly. Weak body weak. Oh, still legitimate. That could actually be the trade for the day. That could be the trade for the day, and I'm not gonna take it. I need to see a breaker. Breaker. Let me go check out this guy. I knew this would happen. So it's previous day lows right here. They are very much not looking the same. I don't need all this. I can delete everything. There we go. And please mark out the previous day low for ES. Previous day low. Yeah, that's all I need. There's an old daily low here. Might be attractive previous day low. No, that's an old daily low with a volume imbalance. Volume imbalance or an old daily ODOG. This is kind of what maybe I was aiming for yesterday. That's small. What would that be? I just do D daily just to show it's on the daily. I don't want to do so much with ES. I just wanted to mark those dailies, whatever. Don't need to complicate something simple. Something I want to keep simple, let me say it that way. So in between two, and there's another one here. Today looks like a good scalping day. Get in, get out. what would I name this? I'd say volume imbalance on the daily high. Okay, I'm just gonna have to know it's on the daily. And then what? All this is unnecessary, but what is there? Previous day low is right at that. Okay, so that is covered. Not. Wow, that setup would have worked so well, but there's no way I would have taken it. Unless I had enough drawdown, maybe I could give it a shot. Where would I put my stop loss? Maybe above this candle here. If I was really straight, then 1.62. Anyway, let me now show my head. Wow, ES and NQ are impaired. What does this mean? Could be one is grabbing liquidity, one is manipulating, and one has already decided the side. And it could be either. This could be the one with the manipulation, and this could be the one, yo, we are headed this way, or vice versa. Vice versa. Let's look at the 5 minute. Poloko, I'm curious, what are you doing? So are you short now? Prof in the building, hi. Is your bias still bullish? Daily is red. Yeah, 4-hour red, 1-hour red. Looking at the 5 minute time frame. So on the daily, your bias is still bullish. Okay. In the 4-hour, damn, man, for me, I'm seeing bearishness. Yeah, but something's off. Something is off. Currently in this 4-hour imbalance here. 4-hour gap, if I would say that. But if I do see longs, I think I'm gonna take them. And then ES and I have too many lines. Do I need all of this? I'll get rid of some of them. I'm not taking a trade until we're above here. Anyway. So yeah, maybe in Q, that's the manipulation leg right there. And then join ES. Because they usually do the same thing. but today they are impaired. If I was trading ES, I think I'd be in longs right now. I would use either that breaker right there. I think I'll have to clean up these charts. They look, what am I looking for? Gray 15. Or, what time is it? 6:30. Or this one too. So if I pull up the ES chart on the 1 minute, there's no way I would use this. What is this? 647? I don't think so. So probably I'd get in here if I was trading ES. Emails line up, that will be the entry candle right there, and the stop loss below these lows. So I'll leave that for whatever purposes, but today is kind of, I don't know. Fair value gap right about the entry. All right, I'll leave that there. That's a virtual entry on yes. Yeah, so I did check out the FTMO. So profile match. The thing is there like a link? Because I look for a link to click from there to send me to straight to FTMO, so I can see if you know, I could apply that if it's possible, but I didn't see anything. Or maybe it's is that the 19% that they're already doing? Let me see. 48 seconds. I am not anywhere near to take a trade. I'm gonna do this. Just give me a second. We can go look. Visibility, current interval only. Just keep those charts clean. Your bias will bring you millions. Oh my, you know, I'm gonna tap into that. Next time I get some free time at home, I'm gonna back test that setup like not like crazy. Get at least 3 months of data. Maybe that should be enough. Well, according to Mark Douglas, just 20 to 25. And then do like however many sets you need until you get in sync with it. Prof, if you think so, then you could also tap into that strategy too. Like when you see it, get in. Or yeah, I hope so. Because I was thinking about it yesterday, and before I go check on the FTMO, let me pull up yesterday's whatever. Is this yesterday? Like a way I could apply Poloco's strategy, maybe get into it slowly, is like a day like this. I was looking for this to be the breaker, right? So when we're down here and I see the 5-minute order block form, I can hop on it and see if I can get to where I want to take my trades off. In this case, I was short yesterday. That would be a nice way to get in sync, even see such a thing. But then again, I was just thinking out loud. We are going long. Yeah, that short was ish. So I'm planning to take buys. Once we close above this line here, I will open some buys. If I do see my setup form. Plenty of bearish PD arrays up here. Would I call them bearish? Plenty of spots up here that might be an issue, but there's always something opposing. We'll see. So the next 12 minutes will determine if we keep waiting or get geared up for the setup. I don't like that I have all these lines here. Are they necessary? All daily lows. Well, I can tell that we've taken. Okay, I'll just bear with them. They can stay there. Well, I can say I see that we've traded below 3 old daily lows. Whatever. All right, let me go check out that pro for March. Boom, right there. Forex. We are hiring. No, thank you. Why you say no, thank you? That took a minute. How many farms do you have? I blame my internet. Sign into FTMO. They have a different site for. Look at all these steps. Oh, I don't think he was going to log into my actual account. I hope there's nothing to show. But these are 2 years ago. Repeat. I didn't think it's going to log in. It's all good. 101 off. Okay. So I was looking for like or maybe that's why they want me to log in here. Yeah, what's price doing? And is it not the same thing that they're offering here? Like, it seems like it's that 19% off. But if they're giving like an extra one for take it down to 339, that's a really good deal. That is a good deal. %10 off. Yeah, it could be. Where is that website? It could be what they already have here. 439, 400k. 2023, a 200k account. Burnt it to the ground. This was a 25k account, 2023. This was a repeat. What was going on this time, y'all? So you only had 30 days to trade. If you were in profit, but still haven't, you're not to the target, they would let you repeat. So I did it 2 times. And then on this one here, I don't know what happened. I stopped trading. Then I started trading. I don't know. That was like a mental problem there. This one was very ambitious of me. Anyway, I'll get back to you people. You're gonna have to give me back my money. This was $1,000 actually. 2023. $1,000. Anyway, I'll be coming back for my money, Mr. FTMO, and all of you prop firms that have well, I still consider it like a mental mentorship, so this it was worth it. It was worth it. Oh, what happened is FTMO stopped offering its services in the US. It just started recently, maybe sometime last year, I think. Yeah, otherwise it was a good platform to mess around with. And then thanks to competition, they had to let go of that. You only have 30 days. I think if I had more than 30 days, I think I'd have had a chance to pass those platforms. But man, you just began trading. You think you have a strategy, and then go buy a pro firm. You only have 30 days to make 10%. Hish, that is kind of harsh to a beginner, if you think about it. ES is soaring high. Let me check out that virtual entry. Yep, we'll be in the money. Maybe I should start doing later when I have a good build up drawdown. I can start taking trades from other instruments as well. All right, a closure above this line here will be confirming of this up candles here, which I believe will be a breaker. High, low, higher, high. So we'll wait to see for a retest, and then if the EMAs line up, that kind of shows me it wants to keep going up. So I will engage. Tomorrow is NFP, so I don't know. My price might be kept in a range, but I'm seeing ES kind of lifting off, so maybe this guy will also want to catch up. We'll see. That could be my trade for the day. But that was the only ones I did. So this right here only shows like three, only shows three. This is the same, repeat, and then it failed here, and then this was a 25k one. But what happened is I switched to, I created another account because I got the first one I had. Oof, man, there's so many fails. 100ks, 50ks, 25ks. I think I spent a total of 4500 with FTMO at the time, collectively, from 20, which is not that bad if you think about it, because it's kind of a nice way to lose money as a beginner. I'd rather you lose money with prop farms than putting all that cash together and then losing all of it at once. But it's not like I had that cash at the time, it was just with time. So started purchasing them from 2020, I guess. And I had no discipline, y'all. I had no discipline. At the time I was trading strictly EMAs. And at the time it was 9 and 36. So what would happen is I didn't have clear you know, like let's say a 1:2. I just wanted to get into scalp entries, and then I wanted swing profits. Oh Lord Jesus, that's a nice way to describe it. Scalping entries, and then I wanted swing take profits. So I'd get into a trade and I'll see 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, and I won't take profit, bro. Like Jesus Christ. Because if you're trading 9 and 36, you're like 9 is just crossing 36, boom, I'm in, and the stop loss just above 36. So there was this potential of trade just flowing, and I'm like, yo, I think I can do all this at one go. Now the saddest part was not even seeing you know, the let's say you're looking at 4%, sometimes 4.5% or whatever. The saddest part was when the trade was reversing, I wouldn't even break even. So if I'd seen like $4,000 in profits, it comes back to 3,500. I'm like, no, I can't get out because I saw 4,000. Comes down to 2,000. I'm like, no, that's nothing. I'd seen 4,000. Comes back to 1,500. 500. No, why would I take $500? I'd seen 4,000. And then it ends up taking you out. Now you're just a beginner. My emotions are everywhere. Now I have to go back in and make that money again. Boom, another entry. I'm up 4k. Same thing over and over, bro. Yeah. That was quite an experience. That was quite a personality. Maybe I was bringing my top mentality that I thought I had to price. Well, this world is different, y'all. A whole different world that needs different thinking. Alright, I'm talking too much and I think I did see a closure above here, so I'm looking for a setup. What is this? A 15-minute bearish, whatever. I'll need to see like a strict setup form, so I'll need this thing to retrace back to the 15 and we bounce from there. If not, I am not in a hurry. Tomorrow is NFP, so tomorrow I won't trade in the morning. Or maybe just come here just for, anyway, might still be a setup, but I think it's ideal for me when we have, what is this? Where's that calendar? When we have NFP tomorrow. What am I doing? To trade in the afternoon. Well, but we'll see. That'll be the ideal plan for tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. Unfortunately, they did block the other account. Say you can't have to. But before I open this one, the second one, I'd ask them if I can, because if they detect you have two accounts, they can block you out. The other one was blocked. I would have loved. I wish I never switched. I never opened another one, so I can see all that stuff. Inactive profile. Why is it inactive? Oh, whatever, man. We'll look at that later. Later, alligator. Two swing highs, but I don't like the retracement. I need it to be a little bit steep, a little bit more. So I will pass on that setup if it does form. If it does give me a signal. There we go. So if I get smoked today, I'm going back to 51,100. If I get that win, looking at 51,700 or 51,600, depending on the risk and if I hold to the end. 15-minute fair value gap right there. Okay, I think that's deep enough. I should take this trade now. If something forms here, what are we looking at? 50 points, so that might be two whatever. There's gonna be a problem here with that 15-minute fair value gap, but then again, there's always something opposing. There's always something opposing in terms of looking at this PDR, this fair value gaps and all that good stuff. Ideally, would be nice maybe to wait for 15-minute closure above the 15-minute fair value gap, maybe use that. But looking at the examples I have here, that concept worked sometimes and sometimes it did not. And sometimes I got into the late a little bit late. Into the trade a little bit late. So I will just keep it simple. Once I see the signal, I'm in. So I'm gonna buckle up here and see what we're working with. Is this the 1 minute? Something's missing here. Might be 2 units, yeah. 2 units market. Okay, thank you. Stop loss just below the 100 EMA. I hope this is gonna be a straight win, just one-sided real quick. Risking 230-ish, 250-ish, 260. If I do get a signal here, I'm taking that trade. Now this sort of a consolidation here, we've taken out the high, we've taken out the low. What if they want to take the high and then come back into this range and kind of form that seek and destroy whatever, where price takes the high then takes the low, takes the high then takes the low, destroying everyone trying to go up or down. And they do that a lot when there's like red news coming up. Or rather, I do notice that. Sometimes you see what you want to see. Or you see what you know. Low, lower, low. Yo, if that closes bullish, I'm taking this trade. Or closes above the trend line. This is gonna be a problem. Whatever. Whatever. It is a signal. It is a signal. I stop using that word, whatever. I use it a lot. But it is lack of a better explanation. Not a bad intent. It's not in a bad intent. Alright, that's not gonna cut it. It's not gonna cut it. It's not going to work. Look at this, man. Kind of have a squeeze here too. A small squeeze. Yeah, what happened? Okay, I'm just gonna buy two, so I'm good. Well, I have 12 seconds to market. If it's not gonna be going up, I hope it doesn't give me that signal. I'm not sure I like this. Oh my goodness. And would you believe this is how I usually do when I'm even if I'm by myself. I just talk through them. You'll think I have people in here with me. Or maybe I do. That's weird. Spooky. There will only be angels from heaven. I noticed them when I go to watch my playbacks, like let's say I leave, music gets louder and louder and louder. I don't have that set up, so I don't know why it does that. And then when I start talking, it goes back to the set volume. I think it's cool, but what if I don't want that? Because I noticed that yesterday when I was watching the playback of this setup on YouTube, or the setup I took yesterday. I kind of like to go and watch them sometimes, from the start to the finish, to the end. I noticed the music, whenever I was not talking, the music, the volume would get louder. So before, when I was back testing, before I concluded to only, take trades above a trend line, I would see such things a lot because, what I want to see is a retest, and I think maybe that was a retest enough. And then this candle will be my entry. And then, you'd see price kind of come and then come and take me out. So I was like, yo, whoa, what's going on? Then I'm like, yo, I concluded that maybe I need an extra confirmation and maybe just wait for like just 2 swing lows to draw a trend line. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start adding trend lines. Then I noticed something else. If I have like 2 trend lines and I use those, and let's say I got a signal here, but then how would you know anyway? Decided to also use the farthest trend line. So if another swing high forms, in this case, instead of using these 2 swing highs, if another one forms and I didn't get a signal, I will update to that one, upgrade rather. Can I use the farthest one? That might get me in a trade a little bit late, but a little bit more of confirmation in terms of this concept here. I was looking at the squeeze. So yeah, I'm feeling some type of way with this trade today, but sometimes they end up being some of the best trades. I am obsessed with architecture. I say that because of Paloco. I want those lines to touch. I can't stand this, which is a design in itself too. But yo, I'm still gonna take this trade, even though I'm skeptical a little bit. If it's not gonna go up, please don't give me a signal. Please do not close above that trend line. Bryce, if you can hear me. Okay, that squeeze is not there anymore, so let's just move on. Prof, are you not looking at gold? Is there anything with gold? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna switch. What if I don't get a signal? No, that's fear of missing out. Instead of using this one, can I use this one here? I think that'll be a little bit more confirmation. The problem with that is I might miss on a trade, but then that would be fear of missing out. Yeah, so this last up candle before we shut down. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So oh, okay, on gold. Let's check it out real quick. Gold. Oh my goodness. And then it just how do you deal with such occurrences where, you know, that was your bias but it just went without you? The last down candle before we went up, I think I would have used this one. I would have looked for an entry somewhere here if I was using 15-minute breakers. 7:15. Let's go to the 1 minute, see if I would have gotten anything. Yeah, those CMAs. Let's keep it real. No, that would have gone without me too. Which is why when I get that CFD, I might switch gears on how I look at my entries. So this will be like a second re-entry if I see the trade, if I see the whatever, the setup that I'm using right now. But this is easy to say because it has already happened, but I've done a little bit of some back test, and that right there will be my entry, and just leave it alone. My stop loss just above the breaker, and then just go for 1:2. I plan on doing that when I get a CFD. And then, because I'm waiting for a breaker to form, and then I'm waiting for a retest of that break, and then I need to see on the 1 minute my entry form, which is all these other conditions that I want to see. So why not just get in on the breaker you're waiting for your first entry, and then this can be like the set. And I have a little bit of back test on that. Works so well on paper. Will it work well on the when I start taking like actual trades, which are not really actual trades because with prop firms it's still simulation, but you know what I'm talking about. To us it is, they are real trades. What happened here? I'm thinking of not taking a trade today. Just if he wants to go without me, let it go. Days leading to our red news, the setups didn't form so well, and I think I'm missing that on the journal. I should have that written. I'll go and track them. See the trades I took before a red news day, because there's usually some consolidation, as I've said before. Looking at tomorrow, we do have this red news, but it's usually New York AM should be fine, but New York PM is where you can see some of this behavior right here. There's still gonna be setups though, but like for the major moves, I don't know. But then again, that's, you know, thinking that you know what price will do, which is so. In terms of buys, I have changed. Wait a minute, what is going on? On which time frame was I at? Was that the 5 minute? Okay. I switched from. Okay, instead of using this one. Wait a minute, what am I doing? That was the original one anyway. What are you doing, young guy? Dude. Okay, I had this one before here, which was already confirmed, and that will be an entry, but I am second guessing this setup. And I think I listened to that intuition. Could be wrong, whatever. Intuition. Hey, I think I using that wrongly. Let me see. Did I check out this what last a few days ago? Conscious reasoning. No. Okay, yeah. Whatever, man. Now, this might close and that might be a good trade, but waiting for a 15-minute to close above here again, whatever, use that word, and then waiting for this setup on the 1 minute, it might not happen. And that could be the trade. You guy, my guy. You are afraid of losing, huh? You are afraid of losing. All right, that'll be a trade that I'm not taking. So let's just take it virtually. 1:2 will be right here. So this is what I will do. Just put a line there to show me 1:2 would have been somewhere there. 2R. And my stop loss would have been here. And let's watch this trade work without me, because I decided to second guess. And it is what it is. Oh, skeptical. I think I used skeptical the right way. I think I used it the right way. Skeptical is like doubt, having an attitude of doubt. But now intuition, I'm thinking intuition is like, you're seeing something that hasn't happened yet but should happen. It's like discernment, maybe. The ability to acquire knowledge or make decisions immediately without the need for conscious reasoning or deliberate analysis. So then that means I can never use the word intuition, because look at all this analysis. Yeah, so that word needs to disappear forever. Intuition. Or maybe when I come in and I just look at the trade without doing any analysis. Why did I not get in the buy, guys? I second guessed this trade. Just because I think I know what the trade will do. I don't think it's a good setup. That's why I didn't take it. But that's the signal right there. Or I did say I've switched to the other breaker up there. Whatever, it's still not a breaker, but you know. You know what? Let me just put the... What am I doing? Yeah. It's also good training for, you know, not thinking that you have to take part in each and every setup. But that looks good so far. Well, good. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. La 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 la. All right, we are in a new 1 minute, 1 hour, whatever. I use that word, whatever again. Hey, 1 hour. New 1 hour, whatever just opened, the 8 a.m. candle. So now it'd be up like 1.13 R. Bro, if it's not good, but local, I think it's gonna work. It was a good setup. It is going to work. And then we have a low and a higher low right there. One, two, 340. Should have taken 3 probably. For $500. 170 is too little. 255 is not bad. So we'll be looking at 510 if I took that setup. We'll probably be at 250 right now. But this is good training anyway. You don't have to take part in each and every setup. If I second guessed it, I second guessed it. It is what it is. Oh, that breakout was nice. Oop. Maybe that's another problem with too much analysis, because if this wasn't, you know, anywhere near, I think it would have been easier to take that trade. But I think my major concern is the news tomorrow and how price consolidates, right, leading towards that news. But it's all good. Honestly, I want to see this work. Let's go see what the ES one is doing. Up to 1.4. Thank you. Okay, as this one is forming, let's go like check out yesterday's trade. I think I went through it, but I don't think you had come into the stream yet. It's just look at this. So I decided to get out of here. The reason I was, yeah, I even got the bounce at 100. I know I'm gonna feel that, but it's all good. I will feel that. I kind of fell for the trap that, you know, I know what price will do next. So the reason for me, so my 2R was supposed to be down here. The reasoning for me to get out of here was like I was looking at 460, 450. So I'm like a $50 difference. Let me just get out. So I got out, and this thing just reversed. And if I stayed, I don't think I would have, you know, if it retraced, this would have been a little bit scary. But once it started going down like this, there's no way I would have come out, because then I'm like, now this is the drop that will get here, and then it just reverses, and probably I would have been at break even or not. It would have taken me out up here, and then look what happens later. It just now drops. So you're right on the direction, but these people, price will still, you know, be like, you know, yeah. And then FundedNext will close your trades at 110 if you're still in a trade. No trading after 110 until they open again. So probably an advantage with CFD is you can keep trading until 2 p.m. or whatever. All right, back to, so that was a good move yesterday, getting out early. And look at these guys. Second guessed a very, very nice trade. Even gonna bounce off the 100. Yeah. Fair value gap paired with a swing high right there. All right, the virtual entry just hit TP or maybe a point away. Yeah, that one will be out. There we go. TP hit. Yay! And we got virtual rewards too. Walk me through your MA again. I want to make a few modifications and try it. Okay. Yeah. Now, what am I? I'm still gonna journal that and just write a missed trade. And that was, you know, a lesson on thinking that you know what the trade is going to do. So I did second guess that signal right there. And I think that was not fair when it comes to the strategy. But then again, if it didn't work, then I'd be glad that I did second guess the signal. So either way, it's all good. Probably, maybe I should have, you know, paid attention to that SMT right there. That's kind of like a strong signal to show price will keep going up. Easy to say because it worked out, but then again, I should have taken that trade. So it's gonna go in my journal as a missed trade, and I write down why I thought it was not gonna work. And if you listen to a guy called Mark Douglas, he does, you know, talk about this too. The fact that you think you know what price will do is also can be a hindrance. Now, do I feel bad that I missed it? No. Honestly, if it wasn't for the news tomorrow, I probably would have taken it. So I'm gonna write that down in the journal. Hey, how do you pronounce that? Let's ask Google. Gournl. I can't spell. I will write that down. Give me a second, Prof. I'll walk you through in a minute here.
American pronunciation.
Journal. Come on, get out of here. Journal. What else was I saying? Man, that was a clean trade, bro. So how long? 7:56 to 8 or 12 minutes. 42 points. Thinking that you know what price will do. Do I want to give it another shot? Maybe no. I'm done for the day. I don't think I should take another trade. In the past, where I had a missing trade and I tried to take another trade, the second one was a loser. No trade. No, I'll say missed trade. Second guessed. Oh, this setup. NFB news. You know what's funny? I think I've done such a similar thing, and I said, okay, I'll continue that later. Let me show you something. I had a concern. Second guess. Okay, not that one. Prof, just a minute, just a minute. Second guess that. So here's another one, and watch it work. Here's another second guess trade. And watch it work. It didn't get to 2 hour, but probably would have closed out something there. Okay. There's something I've talked about. Okay, I can't find it for now. When I see it, I'll show you. Okay. It's all good. Okay, Prof. Let me go to like a clean. I'll just talk this one out and then. Let's use. Q. This one has no drawings. Yes. Q. Now we'll do something like. Okay, I can just use this one. Previous. This is from a long time ago. Yeah. That would be amazing, right? But isn't there a way you can still automate this using these automation tools that they have? Because then there will be no emotions. Once a signal forms, it just gets in. Because this is just, you know, like your own personal beliefs and stuff, which price has nothing to do with them. A signal is a signal. But then I gave myself all these other reasons why this wouldn't work. And then if it didn't, if you know it failed, then I would have thought to myself that the analysis I did was right. And that is one of the things also Mark Douglas talks about. That, you know, you do your analysis and then when the trade works, you want to credit your analysis, but it says the trade working had nothing to do with your analysis. The analysis just gives you an edge. Let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, Poloko, Prof. I'm gonna walk you through today's setup, what I was looking at, and then see if that can be enough. So pretty much I'm looking for a break on the 15-minute, and that is kind of how I get my bias for that period. I use the 15-minute breakers. So in this case, I kind of gray 15. I kind of noticed this one, and I think maybe one of the ways to reduce all that clutter would be to just maybe stick on the 15-minute. But then again, I need those high time frame levels for targets too, so it's all good. You thought that was a good setup? Yeah, but it's all good. It's done. It's done. Part of the journey. Some good trades will be second guessed, but it's good to think like a machine too sometimes. So in this case, I had that as the breaker. I also like to wait a minute. Let's do like a replay. Let's say I was in front of my charts around 7. So I did say if I see price close above that line, I will take a trade. I don't know how I ended up second guessing myself, but it's all good. And then for shorts, I was looking for the last down candle before we go up. Ideally, I want to see swing highs traded, price to trade above swing highs. So in this case, we did trade below us 2 swing lows, so that's enough liquidity for me. So I'm waiting for a close above a breaker, right? So in this case, it has to be like a the body has to close above that breaker. So in this case, this is good already. For me, I'm like, the bias is now confirmed. Again, as I was saying, in future, that would be my immediate trade. Just get in, and I think that will solve a couple of problems that I have with the EMAs, and then just go for 1:2. That's gonna be my setup, especially when I get the CFD. And then on the 1 minute, if I do get an entry, that will be a secondary entry. If it fails, it fails. But I've back tested it a little bit, but then that's on paper, as I said. So from here, I'll just can go straight to the 1 minute, and then employ my helpers here, EMAs. So what I have here is the 5, 16, 50, 100. This been the slowest, this been the fastest. So pretty much 50 and 100 is like a dynamic support resistance at the moment on a lower time frame. And then the 5 and 16 is just to indicate your like momentum, coming from your dynamic support resistance. So just get in, right? So that's all I'm looking for after that. So I'm waiting for the EMAs to line up, and mostly when they do line up, you find that on the 5 minute you do have your 5 minute order block confirmed, kind of. And then what next? So in this case, let's take you forward. Then the other thing is I need to see, as I said, all the EMAs line up. So once 50 crosses, 100, then I'm like, yo, game on. Momentum is now kind of set on that side. The other thing I want to see is a retracement. Ideally, I want to see price come and touch the 50. It can go past. It can even go past the EMAs, but the blue EMA, which is the 16, can never cross the 50. So that kind of confirms that, momentum on that side is kind of set at the moment. And then let's see what happens next. So this, and then the other thing I want to see is two swing lows too. I want to see 2 swings form so I can draw my trend line. Once I have that, I'm good. Now this hasn't touched 50, but looking at my past trades, there's when I was super strict, I wouldn't take such a trade, but this is close enough, and I think that's fine. But ideally, I want price to come and touch the 50. So we do get another swing low, another swing high, but no entry. So in this case, I will update the swing to the farthest, the trend line to the farthest swing, and then boom, boom, still waiting, no closure still, boom, 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 still no closure, and there we go. Without thinking, that is the entry right there. Once we close above that trend line, stop loss goes below the 100 EMA, but I also look if there's a swing just nearby, I will use that as the stop loss. So in this case, I would use that swing low right there as a stop loss, and then just go for 1:2. And that right there is the strategy. So the whole thing I'm thinking is the 15-minute breaker should be support, and then I shouldn't see and then looking at the 15-minute, sometimes you want to see, ideally you want to see from the low point to the high, you want to see it retrace back to the at least half of that range. But with 15-minute setups, I don't see this a lot, especially once that breaker forms. I don't know. I think it is ideal, but I don't see that a lot. Usually on the 1 minute, once it forms and it's a good one, it'll just touch and leave. And there we go. Boom, 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 boom. And then on such days, you'll get good trades. There we go. In and out. In and out. And that's my setup right there. In this case, you can see how between the 50 and 100 just, you know, works like a good support, like a dynamic support at the moment. And this is a perfect example, but you know, being human, I want to add all these other things. So we'll go to the daily and look for the daily highs and daily lows and the EQ and kind of aim for. So in this case, let me take it back. Looking at some examples, if the daily EQ level or the daily high is somewhere here, once we get to that point, I want to break even, because it's an area where price can just retrace. And remember, your stop loss is not that, you know, huge. Probably if you have it down here, then, you know, with such a small move, it can always come back and you don't really care, because you have like something to call a substantial stop loss, of which price doesn't really care, but gives you some peace of mind. But with a small stop loss like this, yeah, you want to watch out for those areas. That's why I mark them, just to know when to break even. Yeah, that is why I was skeptical. There we go again with those fair value gaps, which were just nearby, because there are areas where price can get to and reverse. Still considering if all I need is just those high time frame levels and then just ignore everything else, and when I see a signal, just take it like a robot. Yep, Prof, do you have any questions? It's just that simple. So I used to trade only 5. I used to only trade 100. It was like very, I think it was nice, but I would give all my money back when we start trending, because how I'd use it is, once we close above the 100, I'm taking that trade, and maybe my stop loss will be at this swing. In this case, this would have worked so well. But when price is consolidating, just staying around that 100, you go in, sell, loss, buy, loss, sell, loss, buy, loss. You give back all the money. But it was kind of powerful. Probably, but this was years ago. Should have looked for something to kind of, maybe one trade a day would have been nice. And then I also looked at 50 crossing 100, but I didn't stay with it for so long. What was I looking at? I don't know. And then 9 cross 36, also traded that quite a bit. Again, make money, give it all back. So that's kind of how I built up towards this strategy here. So I put all 4, then I was like, wait a minute, what am I seeing here? Yeah, trend line back to 50 cross 100, trend line break, and the 5 above the 16 kind of gives you that confirmation. And this is just a good example too. Has its own whatever. The two swing low is a very good addition. Or for drawing the trend line, yeah, I think it was a good addition, because looking at this alone, that right there would have been an entry if I thought that was a retracement enough. And sometimes it's still not yet done doing its thing and it gets stopped out. What I didn't like with that is get a signal, get stopped out immediately, and then it goes your way. Yeah, that sucks. So that's kind of how I was like, yo, maybe introduce a trend line too. So once we break it, I think it's more likely to be on that side. Once, if that fails, then you're like, yo, maybe you need to consider going to the other side. And yep, that's my setup right there. That's what I'll be looking for every day. So along the way, I try to modify it, try to take trades from fair value gaps, or trying to take trades from that that thing that I talk about every day, week, body week. And that kind of maybe messed up the trajectory of this strategy, but there's nothing wrong. A good number of those setups worked. Because sometimes if I come in the afternoon and the breaker is already used and I think the trade is still going up, if there's a fair value gap, then I'll kind of use that instead and then wait for the same dynamics here to happen and get in on that trade. So it is a good strategy, but why not use that breaker? You know, just once it's confirmed, and I don't even need to go to the 1 minute, like just use it. Why not? Why not? Then cover the whole breaker and then just go for 1:2. Just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. What are you saying? Why not use it? And then on the 1 minute, use the other one as a secondary entry. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I'm gonna test that logic, but with another whatever. I might just buy another chip. Because man, the safeties are a little bit expensive. What am I doing here? Get rid of the EMAs. Go back. I wanna keep watching ES. Yeah, you're welcome. What is it like you would modify, if I may ask? You know what? That was a good idea. I think there's something called quant something. Automate. But then again, how would you automate the 15-minute breaker? Or maybe wait manually for the breaker to form. Once it forms, then turn on the bot. Automate EMA. That will be some quant power. I think there's some whatever called quant power. Quant tau. No, what is it called? Yeah, quant power. Used to automate setups. Used to automate execution of trading strategies. Have you heard of this thing called quant power? But I'm sure it has a serious monthly fee. Quant power, quant. And then I'm sure it has a learning curve, but never to. We'll check on that sometime. Let me see the ES setup as well. I think it's done too. Ooh, look at that. Finished. Let's look at the gold one. 15 minutes. This would have been this one right here. This would have been tricky. I think I would have used the big one here, just to be real. Probably that would have been the entry. Stop loss. $1.87. Anyway, it is what it is. So this week would have been a clean week, man, with all winner setups. Amazing. This strategy has that period where it's kind of something I've noticed, like it's gonna be like a 1 week, 2 week period where setups are just good. Boom, 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 and then now it starts playing around. It should be a profitable setup if you look at it in terms of the monthly. I said it should be, with a grain of salt. Look at that SMT right there. See that low and a higher low, low and a lower low. I feel like that's a powerful you know, something to add to, you know, confirmation of your trades. Okay, let me go look something I said about news and how maybe that could be a thing of the past. I haven't written so many of this. Of the bigger zones. Okay. Why did I say that there? Whatever. Too sleepy. This one I said NY trading the NY PM session. I was not able to trade the AM session. I was too sleepy. It worked out just fine. Oh, this one was fire, man. Ooh wee. I don't know. Like, look at this trade. Is it not similar with the other one? Like, before I took it, there was a 15-minute fair value gap right there, but I still took it. Because I just followed, you know, my whatever. Oh, but this was magical, man. Boom, boom, shoop, one time. Only 4 minutes in this trade. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was good. I wish every day can be like that. Mistake trade. A mistake trade. Why? Oh yeah, so see, I took this trade, so that was a setup enough. I don't know why, I don't know if 50 had crossed, but this was like a bullish candle. very bullish, and I think that's why I added. No, the timer was right there. So only 3 minutes left, and then I'm like, we're printing bullish. So I was like, just get in. It's gonna confirm that zone anyway. Blah 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 blah. Shoop. Yeah, that was a mistake trade. So that's why I strictly wait for the 15-minute zone for candle to close above, so I can confirm at least. It doesn't mean that it's not gonna fail, but doing that puts you in a good condition. Mistake trade. Here's another mistake trade, taking on the 15 seconds time frame. This was a good mistake for local. I took this trade on the 15 seconds time frame, thinking it's on the 1 minute. But it worked well. I mean, price is fractal, so the same setups on the 1 minute are happening too on the 15 seconds. If I was to trade this, I would probably take like at least 2 trades or 3 trades, because your setups are likely to be taken out quick. So that was a good mistake. Took this on a 15 seconds time frame, so we're talking 1 2 3 45 seconds, 1:2, just like that. But that means if it didn't work, would have taken me 15 seconds or even less to be taken out of that too. Test trades, I manage. Oh, this is what I was looking for. So this was a prior day to NFP, because of tomorrow being NFP. So I'm thinking, I was just relating, and it did work pretty well actually. But then again, I closed out early because I saw it coming towards my stop loss. First it took 5 contracts, I see. Closed out 1 to offset the stop loss a little bit in case it turns around. And I think right here I just got scared and I got out. It didn't hit my stop loss, and then turns around and works. So I wrote down in the whatever. I don't know if you can see this. Let me make it bigger. Maybe that's too big. What did I write in the? Now where is it? Yeah, ma. I can't find it. Second guess the setup NFP news. What the hell? What the heaven? And they work so well too. Now I lost what I was looking for. Where was it? No, so it's gonna be where somewhere down here. This one? No, this one. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'll do like NFP, so I kind of remember. There'll be like a ID right there. So, or not. So let me make it bigger. Boom. Okay. Unfortunately, so I said it was not an A+ setup. So I wanted to only get a little bit. I managed to close 1 contract and trail. Oh, so I was taken out on a trail stop loss and trail the stop loss to offset the loss. Good move, but cost you a lot of money though. Lost only $74 instead of 200. Okay. Trade was about to hit original stop loss, but reversed and would have been a winner if I left the setup unbothered. I was expecting price. Now this was like a day like today, a prior day to NFP. The previous, whatever, the day before NFP NFP. I was expecting price to be kept in that range because of tomorrow being NFP, because of NFP news the following day. Typical consolidation behavior before then as buyer. ICT. But that could be a thing of the past because, well, that's what I was thinking. That could be a thing of the past, but still a factor to watch out for. Another thing is I'm obsessing over not losing. Again. Yeah, feel like this is a repeat of the same thing. I'm obsessing over not losing as I get nearer to the goal, even though it would have been easy to submit if the setup was a A+ setup, so no worries. Missing out on opportunities like this because of being too careful is part of the obstacles to come across and endure along the journey. Okay, so I did keep it positive. Missing out on opportunities like this because of being too careful. I think the solution is stop thinking you know what price will do next. I think that's the solution, and I will write that to myself here. Stop. But then that's too harsh. You're not supposed to be harsh on yourself. EMA, exponential moving averages. I haven't tested the others. Maybe they might be a little bit legit, especially the simple moving average, which might be forming a little bit slower, but that might make it more sure. Slow but sure. If I say stop thinking you know what price will do, that's too harsh. So I'll say consider. Be nice to yourself. Consider not thinking that you know what price will do next. Yeah, just be nice to yourself. Or let me be nicer. Maybe consider. Yeah. But then again, also coming from that drawdown that I was into, this is to me like typical behavior as well, because now you want to be a little bit more careful, which can be not so good too. All right, I'm done obsessing over just one trade. Time to move on now. It is what it is. It has happened. It has happened. It has gone without me. So what next? I'm not gonna be taking another trade. I will consider now taking another trade tomorrow. So this week has had all winner setups because of, not really. Monday was a losing setup, but if I was doing 2 trades a day, it would have been a green day because the setup formed on the opposite side and it worked so well. Okay. Did the prof answer me? Yeah, prof was asking because you said you want to modify, or is that like something you'll figure out? Because I'd like to see, man. I'd like to improve this strategy, but I feel like to the best of my ability I might have tightened it to, I don't know what else would be there to modify for me, other than maybe add to the fair value gaps that form after the setup forms. All right, so I will close the stream at 9 a.m. and go and rewatch this stream again just to see what I was thinking. If at least from when I entered, when I went out around this area, I want to see what ended up making me to second guess. But I know it's because of this 15 minute here. And the NFP news tomorrow, as I've said that 1,000 times. But clearly, that could be a thing of the past. There's been good moves prior to that NFP news the last few months. $51,800 would be my portion today. Yeah, a lot of data. Maybe we can go through something here, just one of the, because I do take a lot of data anyway. In terms of data, there's a lot of it. It's something similar. This one is without the EMAs. This is something else, but this is just 1 month, the month of January 2025. These were the results of that same strategy, but there's no EMAs. What I was doing is I was finding a 1 minute structure once the 15 minute breaker forms. So this will be the 15 minute time frame, and then on the right is the 1 minute time frame. So instead of using the EMAs, I was using the breakers, which is what also led me to now employ the EMAs. Because in such a scenario, I think this right here is where the EMAs would line up nicely. And right here, the EMAs wouldn't give me a signal. But if I'm just using pure price action, right. So what I would do is once the 15 minute breaker is confirmed, I'll set up a trade and then go to the 1 minute and wait for a 1 minute breaker to form. Ideally, the forms that leads to touch to the retest of the 15 minute breaker. Then once we close below the 1 minute breaker, I'm taking that trade, and then my stop loss for the 1 minute breaker will just be above, for the 1 minute time frame will be above the 1 minute breaker, and it will get stopped out, but then I'll give it a second chance. And then my targets would be from the manipulation leg, that same distance, 1 standard deviation for the 1 minute setup, and then 2 standard deviations for the 15 minute setup. The results were not so good for the 15 minute, waiting to get to the second standard deviation. Within a month, I would only have made 1.7 R. But how did I get 132? But the potential, if I knew just when to get out all the time, whether it got to the 2 or not, the potential was a whooping 132 R. Oh boy, You can see the first week was 15, the second week was 10, 34. I don't know how I got to 132. That don't seem right. Oh yeah, I know why it's skewed, because I'm only supposed to calculate this and this and this and this. So this is not right. I'll have to recalculate, but I just added this, so I'll have to recalculate that. Not right now. But you can see the first week was 15, the second week was 10R, 34R, 12R. But that's if I know where price is going and I get out at that exact point. In terms of 2R, it was getting out at 2R, looking at 2R for the first week, 4R the second week, 2R this third week, 2R the fourth week. So not that bad, but 10R for a month is not bad. And then for the 1 minute setups with re-entries as well, not just one trade, just re-entering and re-entering, get like a 28R, but for the month. And the 1 minute potential was crazy. If I magically knew that this trend is gonna go up and end here, so I get out there, it was a whooping 105R. Maybe someday we'll get there when we are divine. So pretty much that's it. How long have you been using this strategy? So 80, when is today? Day 81, so 81 days. Because ideally what I was doing is I came up with a strategy, then I was like, you know what, let me get a pro form and back test. So pretty much I'm back testing this strategy, and I've done it for 4 months. That's why I'm taking all this data, because that's kind of how much I believed in it. I'm like, yeah, I think this thing is gonna work. It kind of embodies all this other stuff. So yeah, 81 days. So let's look at another example. This one, the 50-minute works so well. Got up to the 2 to 2 and the 2 standard deviation of the manipulation leg. In this case will be from that high to this. Wait a minute, from where to where? It should be from this low to that high. And then look at the 1 minute setup from the breaker right before the retest. We touch that breaker and then in this case the 1 SD was just right there. So what I would do is I would break even and then try see if we can get to 2R. So it's not that perfect, but it's not bad either. Here's an example where you set up, it takes you out immediately, and then another one forms. This one took me out and then immediately reversed, so you just take the L. But on the 1 minute it worked so well. Boom, 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 boom. Here, missed trade. This one failed. This one worked. CFD, that would have been a winner. Futures pro forms, they'll take you out at around 110. CFDs you can keep running and hit your TPs later. Here's another example. Didn't work. Of course, a range in session, so that will happen. No entry on the 1 minute. No, 5 minute loss to R right there. And on this day, worked super well, but never got to the 2 standard deviation. So pretty much 2R is ideal, or rather once you get to 2R, just pay 80%, take out 80% and see, we'll get down here. On the 1 minute, tried it 3 times. 1, 2. Would you ideally do this with a pro form? I don't know. With a CFD here, if I risk 1%, I lose, then I risk 0.5%, I lose, then I'm risking 0.25%. and that would get me back those 2 losses. If not, I just close the day with a 1.75% loss, and ideally maybe the win here would offset that loss. That is my stop loss management when I get to those CFDs. So I'm already planning ahead, planning ahead. That would have been a loss. That would have been a loss. Would have worked so well on the 1 minute, but I strictly wanted to take the profits, the 1 standard deviation. So that was quite some, you know, some gain, but gave it all back. Ain't no way I'm seeing all this and I'm not taking something. Nah. That was just for the sake of backtest. Okay, let me look at another one and then stop it here. This one worked super well but didn't take profits because it didn't get to that area, but this is way over 1:2. Look at the 1 minute. Oh, way over 1:2, bruh. Two more. That one worked so well, didn't take profit because it didn't get to the 2 to 2.5 area. Yeah, I do have that on the this is why I have the potential right here, like how fight went. Or are you talking about what I'm looking at right now, or the EMA trades, which I do have the potential to? I write that down. I'll show you in a second. Where's the other one I want to show? Was that the last one? Look at this, man. On days like this, how would you know, like, you know, today the trade is gonna be? How would you know? You take your 1 hour and just leave it alone. How would you tell? Because that return was nuts. 22 hours was the potential. Anywho. So I do take a lot of data, a lot of data. So man, when we get to that point where we're making so much, and you know, people think it's magic or luck, or you know, some people are just meant for that. That's not true, bro. People are putting in the work. The potential points is right here, in terms of RR as well. I do journal that as well. So your question is, can you backtest how much further your entry goes? If you're right, how many have gone to 3R? So I think that would be good. I would say not so many. So that one went to 2.34, this one went to 5, that one went to 2, this one went to 5, this one to 2.45. This one I say 2+. I wonder why. Did it go too far? Oh yeah, I couldn't tell. 2+, just a little bit of a 2+ before it turned around. This one I did not calculate. I wonder why, but it doesn't look like it went too far. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. On the wins that went to 2R, how many went to 3R? Not so many, but there's a couple of them that went to 3R plus. On this day, this one went to 6, this one went to 3. This one, the potential was only 1.7. So did I come out early? There was a period where I was taking out trades and then the trade would just reverse. I don't know what I had tapped into, you know. I need to go back there. This one 1.6, what week is that? Week 4. So there's a couple of them. This one went to 8R. And I joined the trade way down. I think I traded this in the afternoon. So this was like a trending day, and just took a little bit off that. Whatever. Took a little meat off that bone. This one 2.7. So not, I wouldn't say so many, but there's a couple of them that have gone to 3R. But I would never go for 3R with this strategy. No way. 1:2 is good. That one went to 1.5. I'm thinking 1250. That one you have to be at break even, because that move to the upside could also be the same move to the downside. That 1250 momentum, and it kind of kept going up too. This one 3R, this one 4R. So a couple of the winning trades did get to 3R. This one 3R, 2.9, just 0.1 short. This one 3R. So a couple of them. Yeah, go for it and then share the results with us so we can all benefit. This one I did not calculate. This was from yesterday. I haven't finished. I'll go check out. Maybe just do it right now before I close the stream. It's now 9 a.m. Where is the charts? Okie doke. The potential was not that much because I did come out at the low, and how I calculate my potential would be. Let me group all this first. So this one took me out. So pretty much the potential I would say was just right here. 1.9, barely made it to 1:2. 1.98. So I'll say 1.9 was the potential. The points, 120 points was the potential for this trade. Where 1.9R, and then let me take that picture as well for reference next time. Yeah, that's good enough. I kind of see what happened as a whole. This right here is just me. But that's the setup right there. Copy link. Bingo. Okay. Now, if you look at when I was up, the profit were up like 2,400. I did strictly take these setups. I wonder if they were strictly from a 15-minute breaker though. But you know, it's just losses. But if you don't keep taking those trades and then don't participate in the wins, you're not doing yourself any good. Anyway, I think I'm just thinking out loud. All right, I'm gonna end the stream here and I'll be back again tomorrow. Again, we have those news in the morning. I will still come see if I can take a trade. Let me know. Think I know what will happen. But typically after a big news day, you want to trade in the afternoon. But that's a concept from ICT though. And he don't use no EMA, so shout out to the big man, to the big fella. Fair value gap paired with a swing high. And then we respect that low, and then look what else forms here. Bro, I can't wait to have my own account where I'm not afraid of losing, because all these things I'll probably just take them without caring. Here's another one, a fair value gap paired with a swing high, and look what happens, bro. I'm thinking the same will happen here too. Fair value gap paired with a swing high. Look at that. Sorry. All right, Prof and Poloko, I think I'm gonna end it here. I'm not sure how I feel about missing this trade. I feel like I should be feeling bad, but it's like I don't care. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's a good attitude. I should be feeling somehow, but for some reason, it is what it is. All right, so I will read this closing scripture right there and then call it a day. Call it a day. Call it a day. Unless there's any more remarks. Again, thank you, Prof and Poloko, for coming in. I do appreciate you so much. And I hope for the best for your progresses, if that's a good word to use, for your progress. May we all get to our dreams by the end of the year. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, so Jude 1:25, to the only God, our Savior, through Jesus Christ our Lord, be glory, majesty, dominion, and authority before all time and now and forevermore. To the only God, our Savior, through Jesus Christ our Lord, be glory, majesty, dominion, and authority before all time and now and forever. Amen. I just thought of something. I will write down a clear whatever step by step of this thing and then just ping it somewhere where whoever wants to download can download. Maybe put it in a way where people can add modifications to. So for now, I can just have it on a Word, Google. Is it called Google Word? Google Doc, and then add your emails there. So and then give you editing rights, so you can go and add what you think needs to be taken out or whatever. Probably y'all could do the same too with your strategies if you want to share. Just write them down somewhere with a few examples and share them. Sharing is caring, and the more you give, the more you increase their potential to receive. People who don't give, their hands are like this. They can't receive nothing because you don't give. So you can't receive nothing. But the more you give, the more you expand your potential for receiving. You have so much room to receive a lot. All right, I'll end the stream here and I'll see you guys. I have noticed all the setups. You didn't take TPs. Oh, you've noticed all the setups I didn't take. They've not been so many though, but yeah, that's true. I think the problem is thinking, you know what price will do. So probably maybe the solution I'm kind of thinking of at the moment is just get rid of any obstacle, anything you think might be an obstacle. But then that's our ignorance, but maybe, and then maybe leave the high time frames, because pretty much looking at this right now, this is like from a daily level to going towards another one. So looking on hindsight, that was a very good setup. But then again, you're human, you have emotions, you have overthinking abilities. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Mistake trades and missing out on trades is part of the game. All right, can I leave now? Go and eat eggs and try not to think of this setup. I don't know if I should share this too. I don't know. Or for what use is it to just keep it to myself? So yeah. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. CFDs. I am coming back for my money, FTMO. 4,500 in 4 years, or is it 5 years? That's a lot of money. A lot of money. I was once a FTMO liquidity provider. As much as I want to stay, I got to go. I got to go. I got to leave. Poloko, any last remarks? If you're still there. Let me do something here real quick. When you asked if it's MA or EMA, let me change it to SMA. SMA is a little bit smoother than EMAs. I would never. Already this is all some total different thing. I don't know why I thought they would be smoother. So what is all this? Or maybe that's just how it is, because it's meant to be a little bit slower. Slower. What about the... How comes they don't have the MA by itself, or what's the difference there? Weighted moving average. What will be the difference? Okay. I only know EMAs, y'all. Alright, so I'm not seeing any more comments. I'm gonna end the stream here, and I'll see you tomorrow. NFP news at 5:30. Probably we still might have good setups, but we'll see. I usually like to what is that? To predict those huge news like NFP. What do you think might happen? Let me see. Let me just make a quick guess. Just looking at the weekly or even the daily, this gap here, that gap right there. So what I'm gonna do is, and then I'll just come and see if I was right. So if I'm right, you're going to get it tomorrow. I Bear with me. That is quite a distance though. That is too far. But maybe. Why not? And then I'll do like a call out. NFP prediction. I could be far from being right, but if I'm right, I will feel good about myself. There's one here too. Let me do 2 arrows. Or here. Whatever. Choose one. Be a man. Choose one. There we go. Let's see if choosing both you're not a man. Come on. Monthly. So maybe keep going up and then shoot down to, okay, let me settle for, I'll settle for this gap here where we lastly let me do it this way, right here. I would like to stay, honestly. This is fun. I'm just doing like a what is this? So maybe do some stuff like this and then kind of end up here in this gap. Right here, the volume imbalance. On the daily time frame, or maybe even go further, whatever. So many things could happen, but this is kind of my prediction for tomorrow. We'll see. We will see. There's also some sort of a volume imbalance right here, right there. $300 points. Okay. Why would you not let me group this? Shift. Guess it's tired. Oh, I didn't take any trade, so I will be back to fill that out, so that's okay. I don't know what usually happens with TradingView sometimes. Maybe I have too many drawings. It just hangs. Not really hanging, but in this case I want to group this. It doesn't let me. Interesting. 1, 2. I wonder why. Will it let me do from here? No. Okay, but I will group this so it's kind of, you know. And the other group is not here too. Anyway, I'm out. I'll see you on the next one. Myra Capital. Have a good the peace of God be with you all, wherever you're from, at night, in the morning, blah, blah. And I'll see you on the next one. I've said that 1,000 times. Okay, now I'm out. See ya.